Jesus wept, there's 2,000 of you. I've just been sitting here faffing for 4 minutes. Sorry, hello. So rude. Right, I thought today we would do I like K-pop? Know your audience. I'm 50 years old. Come on, you have to organise Skittles into coloured piles. Oh, I'm not that bad. People, this was the giant Skittles. Is that the Clé de Peau concealer? Do I look like Mark Zuckerberg's finances? No, my darling, it's Vichy. It is, which I hasten to add. Oh, of course, it's the one thing that falls on the floor. This one, Dermablend. Yes, it's the Vichy Dermablend. See, some of you know. I thought we would do now do you remember I had the stupid, okay, oh my God, of course. Where did you buy the giant Skittles? Mrs. Whittick says hello. Hello, Mrs. Whittick. I love Babs. Tell her Caroline said hi, Babs. Do I think skin diet can affect skin like that so quickly? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You only need to look at someone who's having a hangover to see that. They're honestly, they're like that big, but they're chewier. So you pop one and you cannot stop. It's kind of addictive. Oh, me too. I like Skittles, even though they give me a headache. Me too. And I knew I was going to pay for it. I was like literally popping them and then going, oh, mate, take some headache tablets now. What is wrong with us? Like something that you eat that gives you a headache, probably not your best idea. Just putting that out there. Okay. My thoughts on TK Maxx and checking expiry dates. I thought that was a given. This just came up in our Freaks group and I thought it was a given that if you're buying in TK Maxx or TJ Maxx, if you're in America, you check expiry dates. They don't have fresh. They have old packaging or discontinued stock or blah, blah, blah. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not, they don't buy it in off, but you certainly have a shorter shelf life than if you buy something fresh. I don't mean fresh in the way that Tropic means fresh. Oh, I'm just getting myself into it, aren't I? I don't want giant fruit pastels. I like my fillings to stay where they are. Thank you. Why have expensive skincare if it doesn't get anything to work on? I know, right? Okay, so before I get started, yes, it's a large candy. UVA, UVB, please share what you meant in your story. Oh, I will. I'm doing a whole section on SPF at some point. Yes, I'll cover that because people thought I was speaking out against Andy Millward. Of course I was not. Andy texted me. I hadn't even seen Andy's story. He texted me and was like, babe, I just want to check what you mean by this. And I was like, no, I don't mean that. I mean this. And then we were like, oh, okay, cool. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Okay, I need to breathe. There was a story, and I can't remember who it was by. It's been a busy few weeks, folks. You have to cut me some slack. And it said something about UVA, UVB, and blue light. And I put a little asterisk next to it and put not a thing under blue light. To clarify, I meant not a thing from tablets, computers, and phones. Obviously, oh, look at the way that glow goes when I turn my hands. Watch that. Ready? Oh, hi, whiteface. Oh, look, a squirrel. I'm blue light from the sun, absolutely. But as I've been saying ad nauseum, until the derm consultants, board certified derms that I spoke to in Yale, drop that mic, say that they're concerned about blue lights from computers and phones and whatever. Until they're concerned, I won't be concerned. I trust them to know what they're doing and to say that the blue light that we face from the sky is much, much, if our skin can combat that and SPF can combat that, you don't need to buy an extra something or other to combat blue light from your phone. Does that make sense? That's all I meant. Does that make sense? Because Andy was like, dude, are you saying? I was like, no. Yes, I think Kind of Stephen and Lab Muffin debunked the blue light from mobiles myths. As they will do. I need some lip balm. That's not good, is it? That's not there to hide anything, by the way. My handbags were getting dusty. So I dusted them and then threw that on it to save me having to do it again in a hurry. So yeah, blue light from the sun, a problem. Blue light from looking at your phone, no different from, not worse than the sun. Am I going to get all the Fenty Skincare? Oh, yes. And on that note too, please hold caller. I put on here, I think, on stories, that the Fenty Skincare was coming out and that friends of mine had already received it and had an NDA, and I hadn't. And so I messaged a friend of mine who works alongside their PR in an agency, not their exact PR, and just said, I went full diva, but only because I know this person. I've known her for like 20 years. I went, so am I not going to see Rihanna's skincare? No, what's she hiding? And they came back and said, Caroline, we offered it to your team, who said that you weren't accepting parcels, which was true, because if you remember at the beginning of lockdown, I was like, I'm not taking any parcels in because Jim's high risk. And we didn't know, did we? It was like people were disinfecting their boxes and everything. And you won't sign an NDA. And I was like, dude, I would sign an NDA for Rihanna. Like, I get it. I'm not a moron. So anyway, I will be getting it, but I would have bought it anyway. And I wouldn't have bought it because I think it's going to be amazing. No shade. I know nothing. I mean, I do, but I don't. But I would have bought it anyway to review it for you, like I did with Kylie. And yes, I am comparing Rihanna's skincare with Kylie. They both have about the same experience in the skincare genre, so why not just throw that door wide open? You just want to give me a squeeze. Disinfecting their box, innuendo much. I mean, come on. What's an NDA? Oh, an NDA is a non-disclosure agreement. It means that I sign something and say, I will not talk about this product until you tell me I can. It means I won't get it. Like, I won't get this remote from my Ricky light and they go, look, you've got this Ricky light. Whatever you do, don't tell them about the remote control. You have to sign this NDA. So I sign the NDA. If I then go, look what I've got, then they can sue me. There we go. What do I think of Hiram? You keep seeing him on TikTok. Truthfully, I'm glad he's on TikTok, because God knows they need the help of Jesus. And he's got like 5 million followers. I think if ever a person was suited to TikTok, it's Hiram. He's young. He gets it. I don't have the energy. I'm sorry. Not for Hiram, for TikTok. Oh, Banda, how are you? Kisses from Jeddah, loving the orange. Thank you for the orange. I also had a beautiful, do you remember my yellow David Bowie t-shirt? It's not yellow anymore. It's not yellow anymore. Jim washed it. It's in the bin, is where it is. So I asked you 3 different questions. I asked about your common SPF myths. I asked, oh yeah, that's the point, Kylie's SPF. Sorry, yes, I'll get it. Bearing in mind, these people have no PRs, so I have to buy all this shit for you people. Oh, Ava has thousands of followers on TikTok. Thousands. And she got liked by, this will make sense to the youth of the group. She went, Mum. She texted me and said, KSI just liked my thing and shared it. And I said, if you were speaking English, I would congratulate you. Now I know who KSI is because we happen to share a publicist, which made me very trendy to her. But yeah, Ava is TikTok queen. It's just not for me. I wasn't sure whether to trust Hiram's opinions, as he says he's not a dermatologist. He's not. He's a skincare expert. He trained on a brand and he's just bringing that training to you. I don't think it's harmful. I think it's a tad repetitive. And none of this, by the way, is nothing I would not say to him. And I haven't said to mutual friends we have. See, KSI, you guys are all excited. I'm like, I have no clue. But I think he is, he's repetitive in that Americanism of don't use fragrance. It has to be in a closed jar. Anything with fragrance is the devil. Anything in an open jar is the devil. Don't trust brands. And I hate all that shit. And I hate reaction videos. But there's obviously a market for it and people love it. So all power to him. He's not doing any harm in that he's not, to my mind, I haven't seen any, he's not promoting crap. I know. Oh my God, love that you have the same publicist as KSI. KSI is a rapper or a big YouTuber. A YouTuber? Is that right? I should know this. And if my publicist is watching this going, how do you not know who's on my team? I'll be like that. He's that boxer dude. No, he's not a box dude. I think he did a boxing match for charity from memory. I'm going to drink my tea. Then I'm going to do your questions. I'm very out of breath. I think it's also that Hiram has a good personality. Yes. And he's amiable and he's cute. Oh, he's a huge YouTuber. KSI is a huge YouTuber, rapper and boxer. I bow down. I'm so sorry. Thank you for liking my daughter's posts. Don't DM her. She's only 18. I'm only joking. She's 18. You can do what you want. But don't. Now, peptides and vitamin C can be used in the same routine. Hallelujah. Yes, they can. KSI is probably saying he has the same publicist as Caroline Hirons. I promise you he's not. Would love to hear your thoughts on Dr. Dre. I love most of Dr. Dre's content. I think the difficulty comes with some of her... There's no way of talking nicely about it. I have a concern for Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre. I was going to say Dr. Dre the rapper. I have a concern for Dr. Dre, which is kind of obvious. But it's none of my business. And so I'm very, very careful and respectful of how I talk about her. Does that make sense? Does that sound fair? If you know what I'm talking about? Right, I just need to finish drinking this. Right, so we did SPF. I asked SPF questions. I asked questions on... You thought I meant the rapper? No. Kanye. Okay. There is going to be a subject, Fran. Thank you. I'm getting there. If you could all just let me speak. I'm joking. Someone needs to come and take Kanye home. I am concerned for Kanye. That's all I can say. If that was my husband, he would not be on TV crying, saying that his dad wanted his mother to have an abortion. That would not be happening. That's all I can say. I think he needs help. Don't start on Kanye. I don't know. But yeah, the derm. I have the same concern too, but as a psychologist, also respectful and mindful not to internet diagnose. Oh, I'm not internet diagnosing. I will leave of that what you will. Make of that what you will. Not talking about Kanye either. Talk about a squirrel. Also, shout out to anyone who happens to watch this on YouTube. I might get into the habit of putting them back on YouTube, but you need to know, if you are watching this on YouTube, that when I am talking to you, there are 4,000 comments scrolling here because I'm on Instagram Live. You're just seeing it secondhand. So please don't give me a hard time that it's not A, in landscape, and B, that I appear to be all over the shop. You should see these comments, bruv, if you think I'm all over the shop. Thank you so much for understanding. Okay. Dr. Dre's a derm, but she's non-practicing. But I agree mostly with what she says. Feels awkward watching. I think we're talking about Kanye, yes? He has lost the plot, but he's bipolar, and you can't be cruel about it. He's not well. Someone needs to come. Kris Jenner. That's who needs to come and get Kanye. Kris Jenner needs to get on a plane and go and get Kanye's ass home. That's my humble opinion. His mother has passed away. God rest her soul. Kris Jenner's his mother now. If he was my son-in-law, I would be on the plane. My tea is cold. Oh my God. Can I just say that I said that in the tune of Les Mis? My tea is cold. Oh no, monsieur, my tea is cold. If you haven't watched Les Mis, you don't know what I'm talking about. Not Dr. Dre, the rapper. Dr. Dre, D-R-A-Y, a female YouTuber. However, Dr. Dre, I hear, is getting divorced and sold Beats for how many hundreds of millions of dollars to Apple? How much is his wife going to make? Cha-ching. Money well earned and well spent, I should think. Okay. Kanye refuses to take the meds. That's why Jesus made baseball bats. I'm just saying. Missing the grey hair, but this looks great too. Oh, Lisa Snowden's here. Hi, Lisa. What are my thoughts on Nadine Baggett? Oh, she's an old slag and I hate her. She's like one of my best mates. Isn't it random? What I love is that a brand, you'll appreciate this, a brand of which I cannot speak, asked their PR if I was friends, if I knew, wait for it, I want to make sure you're all ready for this, asked their PR if they thought that I knew Nadine Baggett, or, gets even better, do you think Caroline knows Ruth Crilly? I'm just waiting. Do you think I know Ruth Crilly? That's why Jesus made baseball bats. Needs to be a mug. So, yeah. But like I say, I wish him no harm. He's not well. So, back to the start. I'm about to put in what the subject is, and then we are not going off track, and we've already done 20 minutes, people, and what have we done? Nothing. This is why YouTubers get very annoyed with me, but fuck them. Okay. I asked your biggest SPF myths, or whatever, Then I asked, Ruth as in model recommends, yes. It wasn't the PR, it was the brand. Then I asked about your biggest sort of, any kind of, hi Lisa Snowden, can I have your legs please? I'll swap you some tittage, not that you need that either, but Lisa Snowden's legs, if you haven't seen them, they're actually quite offensive. I think Jesus took my share of leg and gave it to Lisa. It's very annoying. Why have the hearts gone white? I don't know. Maybe because I mentioned Jesus? I don't know. I asked about SPF. Now, the big animal testing stroke sustainability stroke recycling, blah, 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 right? That's coming on Wednesday with Jasmina. So I'm just going to make a note of that myself because, you know me, I might just go out for the day. You'll take the tits, babe. Swapsies, marvellous. Mine are real too. When I lie down flat on the bed, they go into my armpit. That's how you can tell. I taught the mister that. He always thought, why do men think that fake boobs are real? No offence. Like, if you want to get a boob, get a boob. But when they're lying on a bed and the boobs stay up here, Jim would go, she's got good boobs. I'd go, no, the doctor gave her good boobs, love. And he'd be like, how can you tell? I mean, I love him. He's an intelligent man. But how can you tell? Seriously. I did this face. I'm like, how can I tell? Well, when she lies down, they stay in the same position. Number one. I can't. Right. So Wednesday is Jasmina. And that, oh my God. When I put that picture up and said I've got like 5,000 questions, people, some of the things that are myths that have spread are unbelievable. Some of the things that you think are true that aren't are unbelievable. And it's no one's fault except for like PRs and everything. Like an upside down jelly cup. Gather the jelly, put it in. Fenty Skin's coming when I can get my hands on it. And when it's not embargoed, it's embargoed. Obviously, she's Rihanna. She's going to talk about it herself first. Charlotte Tilbury were accused of animal cruelty on an Insta post for their products. True or false? I would need more context. To my knowledge, they are not sold in China and aren't going to be. I love my gaze. Christ, Jim, even I know that, and I've not been near a woman's tit since my teens. No interest in the slightest, but I know a real one from a fake one. Good man. So we have the animal stuff coming and sustainability and all that sort of stuff. That is coming on Wednesday. Okay? I'm doing your biggest, most commonly asked questions and myths and everything now. My iPad is here and it's huge. Do you want to see how big? Because I thought, how am I going to be able to read them? Look at that. I'm just going to flick through. It will take me forever. So settle in and make a brew. Julia Hunter skincare line I haven't tried. She's in New York and I haven't got to New York. Naturium, we've been there, done that. London Lady Garden Clinic, name for menopause, please. The London Hormone Clinic. Do I think Trump will get in again? I actually do. Please don't take of that any kind of endorsement for me, but I think we're into another second term, personally. Please no. Please no. That's not my wish. And then we have got, okay, hang on, last one, wait. Tilbury set up an in-person try-on ordering booth store in China, so that raised questions, concerns. Okay, we'll discuss this on Wednesday in detail, but you can sell in China through something called cross-border, which means they bring it in from Hong Kong, and Hong Kong does not require animal testing. So don't worry. Like I say, to my knowledge, they are still cruelty-free. Crystal Clear Skincare, nah. So Wednesday is Jasmina. Oh God, I hope you're wrong this once. Oh, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I do. Can you recommend a Profilo consultant? Yes. Yes, I would go and see, oh God, I don't even remember where I went. Dr. Joanna Christou. She's on here literally as her name. Dr. Joanna, double N, Christou, as in Christ, the Lord be with you, O-U. That's who I see, and I pay her full price. Are Barbara Sturm's sun drops any good? Not if you want an SPF. Okay. Is Joe Malone cruelty-free? Everything is cruelty-free in this country. Everything. We have not been able to test on animals for 6 years, is it? 7 years? 7 years? Are the La Roche-Posay SPFs really worth raving about? We're going to get to that, right? So I'm just going to type in frequently, should I just do facts, like frequently asked questions? And then I'll do slash myths. Some of these are amazing, by the way. You guys are like, you are on fire. Oh my God, where's that gone? Okay, wait, now focus. So you keep moving my little thing and I can't pin my comment. Pinned, done. Okay, I'm gonna scroll, which means I'll be looking down here a lot and then I will turn to you, okay? Jesus Christ, there's 3,000 of you. I haven't even, all I've done is said that, oh God. Okay, I'm not getting into the American elections. We have absolutely no position. We are in no position to talk about politics. Have you seen our government? Have you? Have you? Okay. What do I think of Whole Foods type of stores promoting clean beauty? I think they're full of shit, and I've told them to their faces. Oh, my next door neighbour's going by, but she's got a mask on. What about brands that sell in China? Doesn't that mean they don't cruelty free? Can we do that Wednesday? We're doing that Wednesday. Anything to do with animals and testing and everything else, okay? All right, shall I turn you off? Or is that going to be rude? Shall I turn you off? Let's take a vote. Oh, God, I can't breathe. The pressure. Maybe I put my bra on too tight. Okay. Boris is scarier because he's smarter than Trumpty. Is he, though? Is he? Really? Just because he can say words with more than 4 syllables does not mean he's intelligent. Okay, I'm going to turn you off. The vote was yes, I'm turning you off, but I will bring you back on, okay? Oh, that really makes the AC/DC boobage look large. I'm just going to turn you down a bit like that. Please don't make me turn you off by accident. Is that better? Okay. And I'm just going to whiz through, okay? Because there are loads. And we'll just... You make notes, shout out to me. I don't know why I'm shouting. Do you know when I'm on here, I talk like I do when I'm in the car and someone phones me on the phone? You all right, Mum? Yeah. As if I have to shout. Why am I shouting at you? I'm so sorry. I'm not going to bother telling you who sent them unless it's someone relevant and it's funny. But these are a mixture of myths and questions, okay? Stronger is better. Complete myth. But I think you knew that, didn't you, Karma Carly? Fran, where's your question, Fran? Fran said, oh, you're making me think today. Got to get back to you on this one. Where's my question, Fran? Okay. What age to start what kind of product? Thank God for your book, frankly. Well, it's in the book. And I'm not doing this to plug the book. I don't need to. It's already been number 1. Haha. But there is a whole section on what age. Oh, that's where I made notes last time. Get that out now. You watch. I would have sent it off to someone. It's probably got notes going. Change this next time. It doesn't, but you know what I mean. There is a whole section in here on what to start when. And it's done by decade. So 20 plus, 30 plus, 40 plus, 50 plus. Obviously, I can't find it now when I need it. Whatever, it's in there. But how's this? The minute you get hormones, if you're a girl and you get boobs or you get hair anywhere on your body, because it comes to your chin in later life, you need skincare. When you need skincare, you need SPF. When you need SPF, you need a cleanser. And when you need a cleanser, you kind of need a mild moisturizer. So that would be my basic 3. Wash their face, give them a mild moisturizer, SPF. When you get into your 20s or younger, if you're going to uni and you are partying, if you are partaking in partying, then you need a nice vitamin C, please, to counteract some of that antioxidant damage that you're doing, that we all do when we're that age. So 20s, vitamin C, 30s, peptides type things, 40s, vitamin A. How's that for a sweeping generalisation? Good, I'm glad we had this chat. That alcohol in skincare is bad. Only a couple of types of alcohol, and it depends on what it's in, okay? If it's denatured alcohol or just pure alcohol, for example, then you don't really want to see them at the beginning of an ingredients list. So let me find, of course, everything I pick up, nothing has a goddamn ingredients printed on it anywhere. What is this? Oh, it'll do. If you see alcohol here, just after water, it is probably an acidic toner, or it could be a sunscreen. Sunscreens have alcohol and acids have alcohol. Generally as a carrier, as it were. And sometimes a stabilizer, and then sometimes kind of as a preservative, but not really. So it depends on the alcohol, but fatty alcohols are fine. I think there's also another list in the book. I'm not trying to sell the book. There just is, and it means I don't have to remember. The sun is good for your skin. Not really. The sun is good for your skin in small doses. The sun is really not good for your skin in big doses, and especially if you don't wear SPF. Ultimately, a tan is a sign of sun damage. Don't do it to yourself. It's too late for me. Save yourselves. I'm an 80s girl. We used to literally lie down on foil and hold foil under our things, under our hands, on our hands, under our faces to bounce the sun up to our face. And we're like a Hawaiian Tropic #2. You get more protection from spitting on your arm. That cheap isn't good. No, that's not true. Some cheap can be good. Harder to find than you would think, though. That big name brands are not very effective in comparison to smaller specialist brands. Also not true. Avoid oil for acne prone skin. Depends on the kind of oil and the formula and what it is, which is, I know, a really bad answer, but I'm not going to lie to you and say, oh yeah, avoid all oil. That's a very American dermatologist thing to say. It is. But some oils are lush. Just depends. Because if you've got acne, do you have it everywhere? Then yeah, you're probably fine. If you only have it in patches and you're hormonal, you might be dry as a raisin on other places. On your face. Is fungal acne a thing? No, it does not exist in a medical dictionary. It's a form of folliculitis, and it generally happens on the forehead and usually in teens and adolescents. And it's basically a mixture of hair follicles, sweat, some yeast on the skin, and antifungals will make it go away, or can help. I should not make sweeping claims. And you can use things like Nizoral or Nizoral, how do you say it? Nizoral, Nizoral shampoo, and just do it on your forehead at the same time. Far away naturally produced ingredients damage the environment more than a lab ingredient. True. More of that on Wednesday. Like what goes with what? Plus and minus in skincare like a magnet. Oh, I see. Nothing really. You're good except for too many opposing silicones, and that's only because they're all trying to do the same thing and they kind of repel against each other. Eye cream can reduce wrinkles. That is true, but probably temporarily. I find it difficult to fully believe anyone from YouTube, Instagram, blogs without positive reviews, no income. Know your audience, my friend. Know your audience. Weirdly, I think the bigger the audience, the more freedom you have, because the bigger the audience, the more freedom you have, because a reputable brand would take feedback. It also depends how that person puts across their negativity. If they just hold something up and say, this is SH1T, why would any brand send them something? If they hold it up and go, okay, so this pen is like this. Now, I found that ergonomically, if you held it this way, it would work better with blah, blah, blah. That's feedback. Natural retinol, does it exist? Does it work? Where can I get it? No, it does not. No, it does not. And don't buy it. Less is more. That is true to a degree, in terms of you don't need to be using 7 to 15 steps every day. Less is more for me in terms of how much you apply, like grip, not slip. Less is more. Is more expensive always better? At what point are you paying for a name only? You can usually tell by the packaging. Like if the packaging is something you would put on display, you're probably paying over the odds, if that makes sense. Are more expensive products better, more effective than cheaper ones? In some cases, yes, but not in all cases. In some cases, like some serums. Some serums I would be far more comfortable. Well, also, let's just not forget this. I don't know why I keep fidgeting with my seat. Ow, I can't get my legs comfy. Let's not forget this. Everything is subjective and objective. So what's expensive to me might be extortionate to you. What's cheap to me might be expensive for you. So I'm always erring on the side of caution of going in either don't do this, and don't do this, if that makes sense, because it depends. But in general, you will get more actives in a slightly more expensive serum than you will in something from a pharmacy-owned brand. In general. St. Ives is bad for your skin. Yes, St. Ives. The scrubby thing is bad for your skin. What does dermatologist tested mean and hypoallergenic mean? Not a lot, to be honest. They're also in the myths of the book. Dermatologist tested just means that he went, or she, how sexist am I, that they went, oh, that seems nice. That's all dermatologist tested means. I'm just going to get that cream out of my handbag before my husband thinks I'm a freak and I'm carrying handbags around, creams around. And hypoallergenic is supposed to mean, and again, we can touch on this maybe on Wednesday because it's all part of the same thing. Hypoallergenic is supposed to mean that you will not have an allergic reaction to that brand. However, I would never advise using that on a product because anyone can be allergic to anything. So think on. That most products don't work. That is not true. That's just not true. Can I ask why you don't like Tropic? It's worked so well for me, so I'm intrigued. Here's the thing. We also need that on a mug. Here's the thing. And I'm only answering this because loads of Tropic and Arbonne questions came in. Are brands like Tropic or Arbonne good? Why don't I like Tropic? Because they... I'll tell you who are the same are Beauty Counter in the USA. They market through fear. They bullshit their consultants. So it's not, I don't even think it's the consultant's fault most of the time. I think they give them this misinformation and say, run with it, fly, my pretties, fly. And people do, right? Because they want to make their money back. So the problem is the product itself might be perfectly fine, but I will not try it while you are spewing nonsense into the world. Now, I can elaborate on that on another one. If you want me to do another live, I'll do another live on MLM and we'll go through them and we'll just basically, let's do that. I was going to make a note. We'll go through their claims and I will counterclaim, Your Honour. MLM live. Thank God I've got nothing else to do with my time. Right then. Airtight containers, are they necessary? No. Which is another thing I have that's consistently coming from the States. Generally, it started with Paula Burgoyne, Paula's Choice, and that's where people like Hyram have taken it and run with it. Not their fault. They're just copying what... I mean, she's one of the grand dames of skincare, isn't she? But we have much better preservative systems now. What I will say is, I will counteract everything I've just said and say that if you are buying something in somewhere like a Detox Market or a Credo or a Cap, and they make this big thing about minimal preservatives, I would want it in an airtight cabbie. Like, lock that shit down. But anyone else... Anyone who actually uses preservative systems and doesn't talk BS, no, you don't have to be in an airtight or blacked out window, that type of thing. Depends on the formula. That makes sense. I'm going to do a few more and then I'll put comments on and we'll go over that and then we'll come back. You should change your brands every so often as your skin gets used to them and they work less. Not true. Correlation between titanium dioxide and cancer. There isn't one. Mineral sunscreens are less bad for the environment. Not true. And again, we can do that again on Wednesday. Are parabens really that bad? No. What is used instead to preserve the product? Usually things like phenyloxyethanol and some propylene glycol and things like that. Is that good? No. Parabens are much better. That all skincare is made in the same 11 labs worldwide. Not true. I mean, for that, think of people who I know who have their own labs. May Lindstrom, Medicate, Oskia. Why the fuck I'm brain dead? Renee Rouleau, I think, makes in her own lab. Could be wrong. I'm pretty sure you do, don't you, Renee? Anyway. So, no, that's not true. Gold in products, does it actually do anything? I like my gold on my body where I can see it. Chemical exfoliation damages the skin barrier, causes premature aging. Not true. I mean, it disrupts the skin barrier. Definitely. That's why we do it. What can you not use when pregnant? The internet is so confusing on this. Okay. The only thing that you should not be using when you are pregnant is... Let me just find it in 3 different languages because I do have it in 3 different languages. Is Tret. Prescription strength retinoin. Okay? Calm down. You are over-the-counter retinoids do not get into your bloodstream. Now, herein lie your own judgment. Every single brand will tell you not to use their product while pregnant or to consult with your medical advisor, because that negates them from any legalities down the road. The problem is, of course, no one is going to test on a pregnant woman or on a baby. Let's face it, we're not sadistic. So if you want to be safe, you can avoid vitamin A. However, even Dr. Emma Wedgeworth, who I did a video with, it'll probably be like the second to last video I did on YouTube because I haven't touched it in months. She said she's perfectly happy with breastfeeding women using retinoids. It's just a pregnancy thing. Don't worry about salicylic acid. People are like, oh, it's the same as aspirin and you can't have that when you're pregnant. Salicylic acid in skincare generally comes from willow bark. It's not the same thing. Please chill. Can we please stop trying to make pregnant women feel like they're carrying the second Jesus? We already all do that anyway. We're already like, oh, yeah, I'm pregnant. Yeah, my baby's like so special. My baby's so much more special than yours. It's just competition to see who can be the purest. Stop yourselves. I'll just keep going, shall I? That dermaplaning makes the fuzz come back darker and thicker. Not true. I mean, it might be true if you're Greek, like really, really dark haired, maybe a little bit. Greek came into my mind because I have Greek in me somewhere down the line, so don't start with me. Dermaplaning versus facial waxing, which is best or safer? Worried, darker, regrowth. Well, depends why you are doing either. You can't dermaplane an eyebrow, but I'm not a fan of waxing eyebrows either because I do think there is some truth to it stretching the skin. And that's because I have baggy eyelids. So I'm a fan of plucking. Be very careful how you say that. I'm a fan of plucking and I'm not particularly hairy, so I just leave mine. Threading is fine. You can thread all of this area and you can do dermaplaning. I'm not the biggest fan of waxing on the face. Personally. Okay. I heard you need to have phases of stopping your retinol or retinoids and starting again. Why though? You don't, but you can do it 2-3 times a year if you prefer. It's fine. Do you have to pay big money to get good quality skincare products? No. But you will get more for your buck in certain areas. Essential oils, these are all the way, by the way, these are typed and written out as that they're a myth and they want my opinion on it. It's not me sort of declaring something like this. Essential oils are bad for your skin and shouldn't be in skincare. Depends who you talk to. Some essential oils are used as preservatives. Why do we have them in skincare? Because someone said we couldn't use parabens. See what I mean? Waxing your eyebrows ages you. I think there might be some truth in that. Sorry, Benefit. The percentage of active ingredients, how to really know. The truth is it doesn't matter. It needs to be a brand that you trust and a formula that you trust, and then you try it. You're not a chemist. If you're not a chemist, you don't need to be asking what the percentages are of anything in any formula. I did it when I did the retinol series, but I did it more to highlight the difference between retinols and how to read labels, because obviously a retinol is quite a strong active, and in that case you want more info. But remember, you don't have to be told certain percentages of everything. We just have to give you the ingredients in an order and sort of largest to lowest. So SPF giving flashback or a cast in photos, especially on darker skin. I don't know what your question is, but yes, that is true. That is mineral or inorganic SPF. Mineral stroke inorganic SPF will definitely give you flashback on photos. So I said this a while ago and people were like, oh my God, I didn't think of that. And some brides, you'll never find a makeup artist that puts SPF on a bride. Even if they're getting married in Mauritius. How nice would that be? No SPF on the day. Get an umbrella, move it quickly when you're taking pictures and put it back up. People can set up salons and offer treatments which don't really work. Well, they could, but I'm not too sure what the point would be because you wouldn't be able to get insurance. So I could open up a salon today. I've already got insurance. I could open up a salon. I'd get insurance from the council, blah, blah, blah. Dodgy bloke next door goes to open a salon. He won't get any certification until he's shown he has people working there who are qualified. So obviously there will be people who lie and sort of try and sneak something through. But in general, people tend to be good, I would hope. Okay. Are chemical sunscreens really that bad? No. Fragrance and skincare is sensitizing and must be avoided. Not true. Oh, God. They've all just jumped up. Sorry. Makeup is aging your skin. Not true. In some cases, makeup actually prevents aging because you get another few layers of protection from the sun. So there you go, Doris. She wasn't called Doris. I'll do 2-3 more and then I'll turn on comments and then we'll do another one because honestly, I could be here for 3 days. Sorry, some of them are a bit... Pricing and whether a £300 something is ever worth it. Not really. 300 quid. A treatment, yeah. A cream, not really. Silicones block pores. No, they do not. Facial oil results in dull skin. No, the opposite. It's good to have a break from your skincare so when you use it again it works. No, your skincare will keep working, don't worry. Silicones cause breakouts. Not true, but bear in mind, lots of people can be allergic to anything. So if you are slightly intolerant of something, then it might cause you a problem. Big corporates will continue to sell a popular product even if it is damaging to the skin long term. So not true. Shall I tell you why? Because all it takes is one person to get a really good lawyer and there's a class action suit and that company is in the red for hundreds of millions, usually of dollars, let's face it. But also, no, people aren't that bad. There's this weird sort of reputation that the industry has that actually everyone's just out to get your money. No one cares about your skin health. And it's just not true. I mean, there are some arseholes out there, don't get me wrong, Sharon, but is medical grade skincare worth it, such as Obagi? First of all, medical grade is not a thing. Medical grade, clinical grade, there's no legal definition. So they can call it that all they want. All it means is they've decided they're only going to sell that product where there are qualified people, which is absolutely their want to do. But medical grade is not a thing. And it's a big thing in the USA. In the USA, they're like, this is medical grade. It's so much better than anything you can get in Target. It'll be good product, but medical grade does not have any standing legally anywhere. So there. Melasma is not treatable. Not true. It's treatable. It's just not preventable. And if you do get it to fade and go away, it generally comes back. The conversation about cruelty-free was eye-opening for me. Curious about sustainable. Yes, Wednesday. Is it true you can layer your products straight after each other? Yes, with the exception of like a Tret. You would give Tret 15, 20 minutes, maybe half an hour if you want to. No acids or retinol when nursing. No, when you are nursing, as in not working as a nurse, but using the boobage, you can use whatever you want. Just don't rub it on your nipple. Common sense. Loads of questions asking about eye creams and if they work. I love an eye cream. If you don't want to use it, skip it and just use your serum up to the eye area. But I love an eye cream. I don't know what to tell you. Beauty counter, great or same as others? To me, they're expensive. They are the same as others. And they are expensive. There you go. Do serums really work? Yes. Zinc sunscreen safer than other types. Safer for what? Safer for people? No. Because, for example, it can't be water resistant. So the minute you go swimming, if your shoulders are exposed and you're in the water for half an hour, you're basically half an hour without any sunscreen on your shoulders. Think about things like that. Why is sleeping 8 hours in makeup bad, but wearing makeup for 12 plus hours okay? Now I like that. That's an intelligent yet slightly snarky question. Sleeping 8 hours in makeup is bad because you won't just be sleeping. You're not going to put your makeup on and go to bed, are you? You're going to put your makeup on, go out and about and do your thing, be amongst all the dirt. All of that will gather on your skin and just hold it like a magnet, and then you go to sleep. The reason we take everything off, excuse me, is so that you can put your actives on and you can start to get things moving and fixing overnight while you're asleep. But wearing makeup for 12 hours is fine because you're going to wash it off. But if you wore your makeup every day and just kept adding more and more and more and more, I think we all know what that would look like. Okay. Companies with shared, this is a good one. Companies with shared owners sharing formulas, e.g. Estee Lauder and Clinique Cleanser. There is some truth to that. for two reasons. Well, for numerous reasons. One being it saves them money. So if Estee Lauder is the parent and they do testing, they pay. So for example, SPF testing, or there is a reason that all of the Lauder brands came out with a 0.3 retinol within a month of each other. Origins, Aveda, Estee Lauder. Was there anyone else? Anyway, they all came out with a 0.3 retinol in the same quarter, almost, it felt like. So yeah, Estee Lauder, the parent company, or L'Oreal, the parent company, or Kendo, the parent company, will pay for testing, and then it filters down into the product of brands that come under their stable. They've already done the testing. They only have to do the testing on the product, on the sort of the SPF once or an ingredient once, and then it filters through. But companies still do work independently, and they do hide things from each other. Depends on the company. I am so... Should we just say aerated, not burpy, because that's just rude? Chemical sunscreen, aluminium deodorant. There's nothing else on there except for that. I think you're asking me if chemical sunscreen is bad, in which case it isn't. Also, we would call it organic sunscreen. And aluminium deodorant, I have a story for you. Please hold, caller. And I'll turn comments on for this if I can. Where the bloody hell have I put it? Could you just like pretend I'm there for a minute? She had a fast machine. She kept the motor clean. I can't find it. Oh, where is it, man? I took a picture of it. I'm going to put comments on so you can see me about to lose my mind over this deodorant. I bought a deodorant. Just have a look at my bedroom while I'm here, won't you? You all do anyway, you lunatics. Oh, do you know what? It's gone. I don't know where it is. I bought... Okay, I'm just going to have to describe it to you. Let's put comments on because you'll appreciate this story. Right. I usually use this, okay? Mitchum. While we're talking about aluminium. Oh my God, how is anyone supposed to be able to see that? Water, aluminium, okay? I normally use this. I treated myself to the Kapari deodorant. Why, you may ask? I don't know, viewer, but here's what I can tell you from my own learnings. It made my armpits smell like a linebacker after overtime at the Super Bowl. Okay? Bear that in mind. So I thought, I'll try a Kapari because I love the shower gel. I love the body lotion. I love the spray. Like I have, this is a nice mist, for example. Oh, this thing. So you know this brand that makes my favourite lip gloss, right? I bought the deodorant. Well, I used it one day and I thought, oh, it smells nice. And it's really soft and it smells of coconut, like a soft, talky coconut vanilla. And I thought, oh, lovely, right? So I use it, went to bed, woke up the next morning and literally was like, oh, I went like that and went, oh my God. Like it's not even a deodorant. It's not even a deodorant. It doesn't deodorize anything. I smelled like it's just like a nice coconut roller sticky thing. That's all it is. Okay? I was back to Mitchum the next day. Not an ad. Unscented. So what I've started doing is doing Mitchum and then a little bit of the coconut around it so I can smell the coconut for a bit. It's too late for me, people. Save yourselves. You watch. I'll stand up and it'll be right in front of me. I mean, it's very nice. It's very cute. It's small. It's little. Smells lovely of coconut. But, oh my God, no. Oh, the pits. It's not attractive. Okay. Apparently someone said detoxing. Don't say that to me. Right, let me plug this back over here. Okay. Where were we? Shall I carry on and turn you off again, or are we all good? Are we all up to speed? When you switched to aluminium free, I had sore armpits and experienced the stink. Then it went away after like 10 days. Well, good for you, but I am not doing that for 10 days. Jim would divorce me, and frankly, so would I. If I could have chopped my arm off, I would. Ugh. No, that's much better. Just, oh, you loved the Drunk Elephant deodorant. Well, I'm pretty sure it won't contain aluminium, so I am not using it. Or aluminum, as you would say. So no, aluminium does not give you cancer. Please don't worry. Why do salon treatments cost so much? Well, that depends on what salon treatment you're having, because you're paying for the person's time, their experience, their machinery. So it depends what you're doing. See what I mean? Oh, turn off comments again. Okay, so am I allowed to go away again now? Why do people say that aluminium is bad? Because I'll tell you why. I'll tell you for why. Because as the same with parabens. No, I've got hiccups. As the same with parabens, one study came out that said, oh, there was, we found aluminium and we found parabens in breast cancer tissue, in removed breast cancer tissue. But it was completely without context. They also found aluminium and parabens in non-cancerous tissue. Cause and effect. It doesn't mean they're related. It's like, the classic example is to say sales of ice cream and shark attacks go up in the summer. They're both related to summer, but one does not cause the other. Make sense? That's also true, by the way. Right, I'm turning you off again. I love it when you make me say turn me off. Okay, I've turned you off. So bossy. Okay. SPF and foundation, does it actually provide enough protection? No. End of. Are most vitamin C serums unstable, aka they don't actually do anything? No. Why do all of you have this like whole negative, like nothing works thing? What is that happening? Make a note of that, please. And can you come back to me when I turn you back on, please? Because I'd like to know. Does laser resurfacing actually help get rid of acne scarring? Yes. Will fillers stretch your skin so you have to keep getting them or become flabby? No. Why? Okay, let's do these two. These are good. The studies that claim to back up their products, are they real? There, by the way, is just a general there. There's no brand attached. Are they real? They are real, but I will tell you for nothing that 99.99% of the time, all of those studies are done on white skin. All of them. All SPF guidelines are made for white people. Don't start with me if you're an angry white woman. Like, this is just fact. Go and be angry somewhere down the road. Go and shout at the man in the co-op. All SPF guidelines are based around white skin. All clinical trials and clinical testing, certainly in Europe and East Asia, are done on white skin. Factual, the end. Don't even bother coming back at me. I have all the tea. I have all the receipts. Why do influencers receive every shade of a foundation in PR packages? Well, people sort of go, why wouldn't they just send them one? But actually, most of them do it. The big influencers, like I never get all shades in a package. But if people release a skincare line, I usually get the whole line. Rihanna, Kylie. It's fine, I'll buy it, whatever. But they do it so that you, the viewer, can see that they have something in your shade. And I know people say, oh God, it costs a fortune. That's why they had the price increase. It doesn't actually. It is much more economical. I cannot tell you how much more economical it is for any brand to send even 60 shades. Not that they would, but 60 shades. It's much more economical for a brand to send 60 shades of foundation or even lipstick to 50 influencers around the world than it is to do a one-page ad in Vogue. That's just true. Sorry. Okay, maybe 2 pages in Vogue, but still. But that's why they send them. And most influencer type people that I know who are sent a lot of product usually give it to charity or do charity sales with it. I have yet to meet anyone who sells anything that they're sent. Completely honest Bible on my kids' lives. Nearly everyone I know does charity sales or just gives it to like school tabletop sales, things like that. There you go. Is moisturizer with SPF less effective than a pure SPF? Yes, it is. Now, Here's the thing. It has to pass the same test. So let me find two things that are the same. None of these aren't moisturizers, they're allies of skin, but let's pretend that this is an SPF 50 and this is a moisturizer with SPF 50 in it. Legally, this SPF 50 has to actually be an SPF 50, but you will be far less stringent about where you apply this than where you apply this. And also, if this was an SPF 50 moisturizer and it also contained like peptides and blah, 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 SPF overrides nearly every single other ingredient in the formula. So you might as well just buy a really good SPF and then a decent moisturizer and keep them separate. This is neither of those. This is Allies of Skin. I was just using them because they are to hand. Okay. Do you think companies will ever have to disclose patented ingredients legally? No, and why should they? So they can be ripped off by Lidl or Aldi? No. Oh, this is a good one. Using natural products like egg white, papaya, turmeric, honey, etc. are much more effective. No, they're not. The end. Nada. No. Is it true you shouldn't use AHAs or BHAs daily, even if the product says you can? No. You can use them daily, you just don't use super strong ones daily, and ones that are super strong would normally say use once a week, use twice a week, whatever. Why must they test on animals? Nothing sold in the EU in the last, I want to say 7 years, it's 6 or 7 years, has been tested on an animal. We'll come to that on Wednesday. Small batch versus mass produced. Friends think products are best if XYZ makes it in her kitchen or small lab. Not me. I want it mass produced, please, because there you get standards and you get testing and you get cleanliness and you have government officials dropping by at any time to do a spot test for bacteria. Give me a fully grown massive lab making 4 billion products for Estee Lauder any day over someone making something in their kitchen sink. Any mother-loving day. You thought I was going to swear, but I didn't. Is coconut oil a good ingredient to have in skincare, or is it a fad? It's a fad. It's good if you have it in a formula and they've extracted certain elements of it. But like if I was in a pinch and I was staying at a friend's house and I hadn't taken a cleanser, I would see if they had any coconut oil in the cupboard to wash my face. But I took that off the blog because people were taking me verbatim and using it all day, every day. And unless you've got a skin like a cowhide, it's just not good. It's just so commodogenic. So don't do that, please. Thanks very much. I'm just going to quote this the way it's written. It does contain the F-bomb, so I'll say F-bomb. F-bomb-ing, clean beauty, laughing faces. Also, people putting essential oils on their skin. They do put essential oils on their skin and they love clean beauty. Again, more of which on Wednesday, I would hope. But yeah, I know. What can you do? Sensitive skin can't use anti-aging products because they're too harsh. Not true. You're just using the wrong thing. Chemical sunscreens, yes or no? There is so much fear-mongering, I get confused. Well, traditionally, chemical sunscreens are ones where the story used to be that you take it, the sun hits your skin, the sunscreen absorbs it all and makes it go away. And that physical sunscreens, the sun would hit your skin and your skin would, the product on your skin would bounce it off like a laser beam. The truth is that they both do the same thing, both chemical and physical, or as they are known scientifically, which let's talk about the science. A chemical sunscreen is organic matter. A physical sunscreen is inorganic matter. They both do the same thing. They take the sun and they absorb it, turn it into heat, which is why you heat up when you're in the sun. I mean, obviously you get hot, but you know what I mean. It's why your arm goes warm where you've had sunscreen on. And maybe 5 to 10% on the inorganic physical block side is sort of broken down and dispersed. But they generally do the same thing. So no, a chemical sunscreen is perfectly safe. I prefer a chemical, aka organic sunscreen, for my kids because they're far better at protecting the skin. Just my humble opinion, but I'm right. Packaging is much more important than ingredients, results, or the truth. No, there are certainly brands who think that way, but You won't see them featured on here. Are there any popular ingredients that are actually carcinogenic or awful for you? No, because if they were to mean popular, you mean they're in a lot of product. And if they're in a lot of product, that means they've been tested thousands of times. And that means that no, they are not carcinogenic. I promise you. On your children's lives, I would not sell you something that was going to give you cancer. Let's have a look. Markups on luxury market brands. How to tell if it's better tech versus packaging. Well, for number one, look at the packaging. Like I say, if it looks like it's ceramic and it comes with a spoon and a big outer box and then another outer box, or it comes with like a video in the box, you're paying for the packaging. It depends. If the Inky list is like 2-3 things big, probably not that impressive. If the Inky list, on the other hand, looks like that, which, by the way, is Josh Rosebrook's ingredients list for his mist, you get what you pay for. Comprende? Okay, I just need to put that back properly. It's going to irritate me. Thanks so much. Okay. Oh my God, there's so many. I mean, I could be here all day. You can only remove sunscreen with an oil cleanser. Kind of true. I would be more comfortable removing sunscreen with an oil cleanser, personally. The actual differences in the quality of ingredients and where they are sourced. Wednesday, my folks. Wednesday. By the way, where's my cup of tea? Bit rude. If anyone's watching this that's related to me, can you please ask Dad to make me a cup of tea? Thanks so much. Facialist once said steam wasn't good for my face. I use a lot of warmth and moisture. It depends on the face. So if my skin's good and under control now, but if I'm having a little bit of rosacea or anything like that, I'll have steam, but any good facialist, anyone that I've been to, will always put big, fat, damp cotton pads on my cheeks and steam the rest because they know. See? Trained. Was mascara made from bat poop? I was not expecting that question today. I don't know, but I can tell you that it isn't now, lest we be afraid. Fragrance is bad. This is also not true. Fragrance has been wildly, the negative effects of fragrance have been vastly and widely over-substantiated, as in, no, overplayed is probably the right word. That gets me so annoyed that it makes me go like a bit, it's just not true. And there are derms who use fragrance in their skincare. So Marco Zellens use fragrance in their skincare. Dr. Shireen Idris, who I did the live with, she loves a bit of fragrance. Dennis Gross uses fragrance. Seabag uses fragrance. It's something else that the Green Brigade have gone, we want to be clean and pure, you can't use fragrance. Like, if you have a really, really sensitive skin, you will have far more problems with essential oil fragrances than you will the normal fragrance that's synthetic, although everything's made in a lab, synthetic and used in skincare. Far more. But if you don't want to believe me, that's up to you. Can skincare alone get rid of severe acne scarring? No. Prescription strength, you'll have a better chance, but nothing over the counter, no. Statements like backed by science, then nothing else explained. That comes down to the brand. See what testing they've done, see if they've already used stuff everywhere in other brands. It depends. Is it true that having SPF in your makeup can cancel out wearing separate SPF? Do you mean they cancel each other out, or that you don't need to wear a separate SPF? Because there is no way you will get enough SPF from your makeup. So if you want to buy a foundation and it happens to have SPF in it, bully for you, but that cannot be your SPF. Does that make sense? I'll do another 5 minutes and I'll turn you back on. I feel the need to quit retinoid in pregnancy. Breastfeeding myth needs to be dispelled. I think we've done that, haven't we? I think we've done that. Medical grade skincare, is it actually that much better than, say, something you would purchase at? And then there's a gap because I think people forget you've got limited numbers when you're typing. We've done that. Medical grade means nothing. I mean, it literally legally means nothing. I'm not slagging it off. Some of it's great. The brands that I would class as medical grade would be ones sold in professional, esthetician or clinical. So you've got things like, okay, use my brain, Neostrata, Exuviance, Elta MD, Julia Hunter, I'm just using her because she's a dot brand. I just had two really good ones in my head. I said exuviance. Oh, Obagi, Zen, Z by Obagi, whatever that one is. Medical grade, has no legal standing. I'm just reading these with a bit of a... I think we're just going to scroll past those. The myth of that you'd get more acne if you exfoliate too much. You could do, but then would it be classed as acne, or would it just be that you've given yourself a bit of a reaction? Glass packaging is better for the environment. Not entirely true, my friend. Not entirely true. More of which Wednesday. But I've been saying this a long time. People say, oh, we shouldn't use plastic. And the beauty industry gets it more than any other industry. Think about how much plastic there is in the world. Think about how if at every sporting event or stadium event or music event or theatre event, they only served aluminium tins, right? And there was no plastic water bottles, no plastic beer cups. You would save far more than if the beauty industry stopped using plastic. And here's the kicker. People might say they want plastic, but every time something is put in glass and you drop it, who's the first person you complain to? The brand. Oh, I dropped it and it broke. What do you expect? So I see the need for plastic in beauty. It's safer. Plastic is safer in your bathroom. If you drop something and you're in the shower and you have to step out and you cut your foot open and you're in America, you're going to start trying to sue the brand. And you know you will. Not necessarily you, but you know what I mean. So I get why brands use plastic. No one's going to sue you if they drop their plastic thing and the lid cracks. But if you drop something glass on your foot and it breaks, you could have a lawsuit coming your way. Also, plastic's main design fault is it can't be recycled, right? I mean, it can, but what I mean is it doesn't automatically sort of renew itself. But glass is heavier to ship and uses more energy to make. Let's see what Jasmina has to say on Wednesday. The clean thing, that clean means cruelty-free. Absolutely not the case. Just what they would like you to believe, but absolutely not the case. Should I use hyaluronic acid if I live in the desert? You can use whatever you want when you live in the desert, but you need to make sure that you're using something on top of your hyaluronic acid because there's not going to be much water in the atmosphere for it to pull from, so it might well dehydrate you, if that makes sense. Is all one product under different packaging? Example, L'Oreal is MAC, also Tarte. No, L'Oreal isn't MAC. Estee Lauder is MAC. But I see what you mean. Is it all the same but in different packaging? No. But I do think they share key scientific discoveries. So like the fact it took Estee Lauder so long to bring out a retinol, but then like I said, Aveda, Origins, Lauder, who else? All but one out literally within weeks of each other. Obviously, they were like, okay, we found a retinol that we're happy with. Run with it, all of you. There you go. You get what you pay for and the star rating on SPF. We can do that when we do SPF. But I think for the most part, you get what you pay for. And I think most of you know when you're getting what you pay for. And I also think most of you know when you're just buying something for the logo or for the box. Do we not? Cold water closes your pores. No, your pores don't open and close. Why? Because they're not doors. The star rating on SPF has an annoying story behind it, and I think now it's kind of semi-redeemed itself, but it was originally done by Boots as a marketing technique. That Boots gave their sort of high UVA products the star system, right? And 5 stars meant it was the highest UVA you could get. But then what they started to do is charge other brands who wanted to be in the SPF section. They wanted to charge them for using the star system. And so I got very disenfranchised with it because it was about money and not actually about customer safety. So I think now it's kind of spread around a bit more. So it's not that I would distrust something with 5 stars. Of course I wouldn't. But I do have reservations about the way that came about. I've heard the term fragrance allows companies to hide shady ingredients in the US. It's just not true. What is the PA++ in comparison to SPF? It's similar to the star rating, kind of. And it's used much more in a sort of East Asia and in Korean skincare and Japanese skincare. So the higher the PA+++, similar. That's the thing. I'm writing a post at the moment on SPF, and there are so many differentiations between the main 3 territories, which is Australia, the EU, and America. Safe to use cream with just alcohol listed as an ingredient. No, that's whiskey, my friend. That's not a face cream. Does putting lots of chemicals on your skin increase your toxic load? So is it not better to use less chemicals and more natural products? No, because you still absorb the natural products too. So if you're increasing your toxic load, there's nothing you can put on your skin or put on your body all day that is going to increase your toxic load more than, for example, walking down the road, getting on the tube and getting on a tube train. And if you think that's not true, get on the London tube and then blow your nose when you come off it. Does the Body Shop SPF cover UVA and UVB? Yes, I believe it says broad spectrum. PA refers only to UVA reading. Yeah, exactly, like the stars. The stars only refer to UVA reading. When you mention the distrust in industry and nothing working, I think a lot of that comes from some, not all, some dermatologists pushing the idea that you need prescription only and nothing else works. Yes, I know, and I know who you mean. Full of shit. Sorry, but they are. Is alcohol in products really bad? No, we've done that. Why not use retinol around the mouth per your diagram in the book? Purely because with a tret, it's so strong that when it dries out here, it will crack and you're at much more risk of getting dermatitis around here. There we go. Please do sunscreens for black skin. Oh, we are, my friend. Worry ye not. Worry ye not. Blue light ages you. Only blue light from the sun, not blue light from looking into a computer. Don't believe the hype. Do not believe the hype. You cannot use retinoid as you're trying to conceive. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. See, this is what I mean. We've made everyone even thinking about trying to conceive say that they can't use things. Is tret percentage as important as consistency, or should we increase percentage quickly too? Not quickly, but you should increase them. Yes. What did you miss? You missed everything, actually, CanadianBeauty.com. We've done it all now. Not really. Now, I reckon we've got like another 10, 15 minutes. Do you want me to turn you off and go back to the questions, or do you want me to just answer your questions? Re the carcinogenic topic, where does phenol fall? I think phenol could, in heavy doses, could be classed as a carcinogenic, but you would have to like drink it. I mean, don't ever do that, please. Please don't do that. We're doing animal testing on Wednesday. What brand products for an 11-year-old struggling with lots of spots but not quite acne? Make sure their shampoo is good. Make sure if they are sweaty, they are washing their hair and changing their pillowcase every day. Trust me, I've got a 15-year-old boy. You need to sort them out. And if they are spotty, get them a really mild acid. Get them a really mild acid and like a nice light moisturizer, and just make sure they're washing their face, and don't buy them anything too drying. Just don't dry it out. Never too late for sunscreen. No, it's never too late for sunscreen. Can I cover SPF for Asian? Yes. Well, if I'm doing Asian, you should know that if I talk about black skin in SPF, that already covers Asian, because it would be, I would class them as single. Not, you know what I mean, in terms of SPF. You have to be so careful what you say. Honestly, think a Jesna peel ruined my skin. How do I fix? Depends where you went, how long they left it on for. Do you see what I mean? Liz wants to chat. Well, Liz gets to pick. Everyone else is saying off, but we've got plenty of time. Tret is prescription tretinoin. Most of the questions here have been answered. Okay, I'll give you another couple of swipes and then I'm moving back. My cup of tea, I know. Where is it? I know. And I haven't even got WhatsApp on my iPad, or I could message the husband and be like, excuse me. Nasolabial folds, can Tret help? Yeah, but it can also make it too sensitive, which is why I was just like, just be careful here, please. Can you use Dermatica Tret with acid? Don't bother. What does Max use? I have got Max onto Ameliorate shampoo and conditioner because he got a flaky scalp. I think he is just growing so quickly that even his scalp cannot keep up. Zellen's Power D, good or bad? Zellen's Power D is one of the best products on the market. End of. So Max, I gave him some of my Duac, which is prescription strength, obviously. He could use Differin. So if you have a teenager, they can use Differin. I gave him some Duac, which I did for him really thinly on the forehead. He's used CeraVe, is a good brand for a 13-year-old. Yes, he's used CeraVe. Yeah, mild and not too drying, and making sure that he just takes care of his, that he at least washes his face, you know? That's the key. Wash your bloody face. Benzoyl peroxide, yes or no? Depends on the formula. It's not really that, it's more a question for the USA, benzoyl peroxide. But it depends on the formula. Is it possible to use too much niacinamide? Yeah, you can, it makes you go quite red. Botox for sweating. Yes, you can absolutely have Botox for your sweating. Why don't you use tretinoin around the eyes? Because it's too close to mucous membranes. Like the whole point of that picture in the book. Shall I show you the picture in the book? If I can find it in a hurry, because it's already 6:20. Sorry. Where's my retinol? Where's me retinol? Please hold, caller. Retinoids, how to use. 52 to 3. Let's see if I've picked the right one, shall I? Oh, I have, yeah. So, oh God, I hate this picture. Look. So here and here, right up to the nose, and here, and then on the neck. This is much more for tret. So I can apply my retinols there now, but I still couldn't do it every single night. It would be too much too soon, as it were. So you're avoiding the neck, eyes, the nose, and the mouth. Where that sort of, that hideous picture. Oh, sorry, you can't see it. Why am I doing that? I'm not even showing you, because I can see it in the mirror. That's really basically to keep it away from mucous membranes. It's just to messaged Ben about tea. Hopefully we'll pass on to Jim. Thanks, Cass. So yeah, it's mainly to keep it away from hot, damp and wet areas, nose, mouth and eyes, because it's too much. How to get rid of just a dark face. How to get rid of just a dark face by sun exposure. I don't know what that means. Why would you get rid of a dark face? When should you see a derm for acne? When it is, numerous reasons, when it's unmanageable, when it's spreading and not getting any better, when your GP isn't listening to you. Now, there are brilliant GPs out there, don't start with me, but there are also some who don't understand the mental health aspect of having a breakout of skin that breaks out really easily. So if it's on your back, if it's on your chest, if it's intense, if it's sore, if everything you throw at it makes it even more angry, I'd go to a derm. I mean, Max has got a little bit of acne across his forehead where he's growing so quickly, and I saw some on his back the other day, but he sweats and he's 15, and I just said to him, if that hasn't cleared up in a couple of months, you're going to see Emma, because I don't want to. The problem is when they're teens, you don't want to leave it so long that they scar. Make sense? You don't want to leave it when they're teenagers. Just deal with it as quickly as you can. And if the GP isn't taking them seriously, make sure you do. Make sure you take them seriously. Oh, 18:24, an hour and a half. Are we good? Are we done? Does Vaseline help your lash grow? Not to my knowledge. Pi emailed today telling me not to wash my face in the morning. Yeah, but Pi deals with really sensitive skins. Have you got really sensitive skin? If you've got sensitive skin, adding more water to the problem can exacerbate it. But what do they suggest you do? What are you going to do in the morning instead? I'm just going to wait until you tell me. SPF causing breakouts. SPF causing breakouts. What ingredients to avoid? I wouldn't avoid any. I would make sure you're taking it off properly. Half the time it's that you're not removing it properly. Don't be offended. That's just fact. Pixie Glow Tonic okay for a 14-year-old skin? Yeah, but you're better off with something like Paula's Choice BHA 2% because it doesn't have glycolic. It's just salicylic. So you can keep it quite light. And I think from memory, Alex Steiner's Primark line has pads, has some salicylic pads. I think. I could be wrong, but I know she has pads of some sort, which are cheap as chips. Is it true SPFs damage coral reefs, even though I don't go in the water? Lol. Scientifically, no. Scientifically, most scientists will say that the coral reefs have been destroyed by global warming. That's the fact. But people don't want to hear it. It's much easier to demonize a whole subcategory of ingredients, because that means that you can then put reef friendly on your packaging. But there we go. Or some GPs who tell you to lose weight. Oh yeah, don't take any notice of them. I mean, unless you have really bad health concerns. I'm not a doctor. I'm just saying, don't feel bad about that. Sorry, my face is a lot darker than the rest of me because I was relaxed about sun care. Is there any product to help? Yes, you could use things like, well, it depends how old you are and what your skin's like, but you could use Dermatica's hydroquinone mix. You could use niacinamide. You could use azelaic acid. Anything to kind of be a bit brightening. You have so many toothpick scars from acne in your teenage years. Well, you could have Subcision, which is really intense and you have to be prepared for it. But yeah, I mean, it's not easy going. If you want to see, I won't describe it in case it makes any of you feel ill, but Google it. Let me just close down this and let me just show you while you're there some Subcision. Subcision. Basically, it involves, if you've got proper deep acne scarring, like pitted acne scarring, it involves you get numbed up and a derm will go in with quite a substantial needle, more like a hypodermic syringe, like quite intense, and break up the tissue underneath the scar. You can see that kind of thing. So you just Google that, but that works. And when you come off of here, you can search the hashtag Subcision. But you have been warned. Don't come to me tomorrow and be all like, oh my God, you didn't tell me it was going to be like that. Because I did. I warned you. But it does work. And it has some really good effects. But they basically essentially, when you've got pitting and scarring, cannot find a dermatologist. Oh, okay, sorry. When you've got pitting and scarring, it kind of leaves damaged. If you think about your collagen, it's not exactly this way, but it'll give you a vision. If you think about your collagen being like an elastic band, it leaves all the elastic bands kind of pulled taut or just damaged, and that leaves the skin pitted. What they do with Subcision is they go in with the needle underneath and they break up here. Well, anyway, but it's mainly in the cheek area. They break up the fibrous bands sort of in the dermis. But yeah, I would have a look. Is SPF too oily, or why is it not popular as lower SPFs? Because in most countries now they are, like for example Australia, you can't sell over an SPF 50. They can only call it SPF 50 plus. So you will get SPF 100. You're more likely to get something called a total block, and that's generally recommended by oncologists for people who've had some kind of melanoma, basal cell carcinoma, any kind of cancer in that way. But yeah, that's, what do I think of Josh Rosebrook products? You must be new here. Welcome. I love him. He's one of my people. Oh man. Oh, sorry, but that mist is just sexual. Bad keratosis pilaris. Yeah, you need Ameliorate, which I've already mentioned. Ameliorate is what I use on Max's scalp. Ameliorate. 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 Okay, I'm going to go and make sure Mr. Hirons makes dinner, because he certainly hasn't bought me a cup of tea, has he? Do you know what I mean? I ordered from Cult Beauty. I see you're all trying different things. Okay. I can't remember what I'm doing tomorrow. I am in the office all day tomorrow, which means I may not be live. But if I'm not, then I will definitely be on Wednesday, Thursday, and I'll probably make it up to you and do a Friday as well. Purely because I get so little time in the office with us together, and we're sort of doing it and separating out and being in at different times. But tomorrow's our day. So I'm going to pretty much be there as much as I can all the time. So if I don't do one tomorrow, I will see you on Wednesday at 5 for Jasmina's Live, which is everything to do with sustainability conversation, animal testing, the real meaning and the real cost of green and clean, and all that. Please do the fragrance question. What was the fragrance question? Why is the screen stretched? I don't know. Sign out and come back in again. I haven't stretched. I look completely normal to me. Sorry. You had that done when you were young. It helped, but it was painful. You mean subcision, I would guess. Yeah. I know. I have these odd cyst-like bumps on either side of my jaw. They have never gone away. They just get bigger or smaller. Any idea what it could be? Yeah, they just could be blocked cysts. You could probably go to a derm. They may well be able to get rid of them for you. My fiance gets ingrowns in his facial hairs. I got him Antony products. Do you like that brand? Yes, I love Antony for Men. It's a great brand. And what's good is they do a lot of products targeted solely for beards. So I would give that a go. I will see you, like I say, I'm not sure about tomorrow, but definitely Wednesday at the latest. And then I shall be back. Jade rollers any good? I'm not bothered about jade rollers. I just can't be bothered. I just can't be bothered. Who has the time? Me and ACDC are going to go and make Mr. Hiron's, cook some food. Was it once a day sunscreen? Saw it in your book, but I've never heard of it. Ultrasun used to say once a day, but they've changed it now because they had so many complaints from derms, to my knowledge. But yeah. Do I rate the Alex Steiner range at Primark? I haven't tried it all, I'm not going to lie. But I believe it's okay and it's fine as an affordable line. Still no cuppa. No, I know. It's an outrage, frankly. I've divorced people for less. I haven't really. I'll see you tomorrow. And I will be on here because I've got lots more skincare things to put up. And I've got loads more to write. And I will keep this as always. And I will keep your questions for the next time because we could just keep doing these. There are loads, thousands of questions. Thousands. It's just I didn't want to keep asking the same ones. Like, are all brands owned by a bigger one or are some independent like Medik8? Most brands are independent. Most of them. It's just that when people like Lauder and Kendo and LVMH and L'Oreal buy smaller brands, it builds up. Oh, I am saving it. Don't worry. Worry ye not. You got so many questions. What is toxic or not? I can't figure it out. That's because nothing is toxic. Nothing that we use in skincare. Let's finish with this, shall we? Nothing that we use in skincare is toxic or going to hurt you or going to give you cancer. Nothing. It's been slightly distorted the whole time. Oh, you should have swiped out and swiped in again. Stretch screen this side. Oh, I don't know what to tell you, folks. I look normal. Let's hope it's not like this when I come to put it up. I'm going to go if everyone says I'm stretched. I will see you tomorrow on stories. Whether or not I'm live, I don't know. But I will definitely see you on Wednesday with Jasmina. Have a lovely evening. Adios.